But of the marriage proposals I've gotten, I have said yes to none of them
Mhm.
because I think that's for me, you better be like the absolute perfect match in order for me to go through the whole thing of like having a wedding, even though I don't
Yeah,
particularly want a wedding.
because you really don't want to go through a divorce, I don't think. That seems like so extra.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then also, if I'm going to have a high risk pregnancy, you better be the best partner and want that kid so much to
hmm
where I don't have to worry about your level of commitment
Right.
or
Yeah.
your um
I mean, God forbid you have to be in the bed for majority of the time. You need to know that your partner can be there for you and not just get up and go to like, the sports bar so he can get some stress off his chest or some shit like that.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
what I'm looking for is like real partnership.
Yeah.
But as I've kind of, you know, now stretched into my mid 30s, I feel like, and I've never felt pressure from myself or from my parents or family, never felt pressure to get married, never felt pressure to have kids.
hmm
But I do sort of now kind of feel like my window is closing on
hmm
those things. And yes, I know women get pregnant at 38 and they get pregnant at 42. But like,
hmm
I'm like really tired already because I do a I don't know, like, so obviously there's a lot of factors all to come around really far and then come back around to if someone already has a kid that they love and have raised to be an awesome kid,
Mm.
that's not a deal breaker for me. Because
It's
truthfully,
kind of a perk for
I
you.
would be a great mom,
You would.
like super fun.
Yeah.
hmm
So,
Like you would be okay just being a stepmom. That would be perfectly fine.
I think if that's the way my life plays out, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Mm.
I
That's an
think,
awesome way to look at it because some people are so married to the thought of having, I mean, I get it. The experience I mean, it's a once in a lifetime or a few in a lifetime experience, but I mean, it's an experience I know a lot of, or some women want to have. But to be open to that, that's quite nice because there are a lot of kids out there that are missing like that kind of maternal parenting because their mom is just not there. But for you to want that and be open to it, that's awesome. Because my husband is adopted, and to this day, his mother has had the most impact on him. And he wasn't a step parent, but they weren't his biological, and it really had an impact on him as a kid. You can change someone's life. Oh, let me not just sell you on like being an adoptive parent or something like that. I feel like I'm
No,
a
but that is a
spokesperson.
big issue when you are talking about getting on a dating app when you are in your 30s, 40s. It changes for 50s and 60s usually, but 30s and 40s, at that point, the probability of someone being divorced goes up
hmm
and the probability of them having children also goes up. And
hmm
how open are you to having a partner who has had a family already?
hmm
yeah.
It's very common. You
Yeah.
also run into the men who are in their 40s, and this is part of the reason why some of them lie about their age, is because they still want to have a family. And while,
hmm
yes, men can have children until they're dead,
hmm
ultimately, um, women do have windows of time where it is safe and we are able to have children and carry out a full-term pregnancy. So
hmm
yes, you do run into a lot of that on dating sites as you get a little bit older.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, and I think kind of circling back to what you said earlier was like, what are you? Oh God, I've lost my train of thought. But it was essentially like, nope, lost it.
We've gotten too serious. That's what happened.
Oh
I need
yeah,
to
that
refill her
happens.
glass.
Well, let's do this. What do you have any traditions about love that you still follow that still follow you to this day that you want to be able to uphold in your life?
Traditions about
Mm-hmm.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah, like traditions, I'll give you an example from like my tradition, right? When I was a child, I thought I don't ever want to get divorced because my parents were divorced and my mom had been divorced multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want to get divorced. But then my parents got divorced and I'm probably about like, I don't know, 9 years old, and sitting there realizing they have the best friendship.
Mm.
Like, not everyone can say that about their divorced parents. I was very blessed to have divorced parents because they were a nightmare together.
Mhm.
Two hot-tempered Italians living in the same house was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I let go of the traditional thinking of, I don't ever want to get divorced. So I'm okay with the idea of, if I get married and something happens and we grow apart and we have to get divorced, like, it's doable. But there are a lot of people out there that are like, no, I don't
Mhm.
ever want to get divorced. I will do what I have to stay married.
Yeah, I think it's all about priorities. Like it's prioritizing, especially if you have kids, God, right?
Mhm.
Their well-being. But I'm also never going to stay in something that doesn't make me not just happy. I think it's so much more than just like being happy.
Mhm.
Um but something that's like not good for you. Like it's not like a part of what's making you like a healthy, functioning human being. I've never wanted to stay in anything where, I mean, like, why would you want to stay in anything where someone also doesn't want you back? And I think that was something, the tangent before was like, you know, you'll hear there's TV shows about like people who are like tricking men into staying and like getting pregnant so that they can have that family. Like, and I have girlfriends who like, they wanted to be married, they wanted to be a mom, and they do. They are married and they have 2 to 3 kids right now. That was just never something that was a priority to me, so I never made it happen. And a
So
lot
you
of those
consider
people,
yourself non-traditional.
oh yeah,
Okay.
honestly, I think it just needs to come down to like an authentic, genuine love. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want something where someone doesn't want me. I don't need to convince you to, I am so great. And it's taken me ages to even be able to say, like, wow, I'm amazing.
Yeah.
When I actually said that in a text last night, I was trying to work out some feelings and things. And he says, no, you're amazing. Da, 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 da. And I go, I
Yeah. I mean, you kind
know.
of have to think that because, if you don't, who will? You can't rely on the partner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can't rely on the partner to like be all of those things for you
Hmm.
either.
Yeah, for sure. What is your love language?
Oh my God, that's so funny because I was thinking about that this morning. I have never taken the love language test officially. I think because I'm
Oh,
very hesitant to see what it says, but I will say,
Why?
someone this morning, remember when I told you that guy, I responded with the 100 emoji to
Mhm.
the
hmm
comment about the office. He replied with, because I propagate plants. I really love watching things grow. And I mentioned that on my profile as like a hobby or a practice. And he says, how about this? That's all, like, that's what he starts with. How about this for a first date? We go to Home Depot. We snip cuttings off plants. I hear that anything that hits the floor is fair game. Like, that's his idea for a first date.
that is awesome.
I
I like this guy for
I
you.
responded with, I've never taken the test, but I'm pretty sure plant clippings is my love language.
So we could say your love language is entertaining your hobbies and the things that you love.
It's not a love language, but
Yeah, I mean, what are the options?
okay.
You
Yeah,
got them?
of course I do.
Of course
Come
I
on,
do.
girl.
Silly question.
Physical touch, which I know is not your love language. I could probably tell her love language, but we'll go through them anyways.
so
So there's
funny.
physical
I
touch.
think at a certain level, I'm okay.
Well,
Never
everyone
mind,
has all
continue.
of them to some degree.
Okay.
It's just your go-to, right?
Yeah.
So there's physical touch, quality of time, acts of service, gifts, and words of affirmation.
Oh.
Hmm.
I would say I'm 50-50 on 2 of those.
I know.
What do you think?
I I think you need words of affirmation for sure.
Yeah.